Well, welcome back my fantastic artistic friends to another painting episode with me, MasterTemple. Right, what we've got is an 18 by 24 inch pre-stretched canvas up here, double primed and all that lot. We're going to do a nice winter scene. It's still winter, even though it's the new year. It's still winter. It could still snow very, very heavily. And we're going to paint a little bit of something like that. I've just coated the top half here with a very thin layer of linseed oil and titanium white, mixed together about 50-50. Put it all on, wiped it all off. In the middle, before I put on the linseed oil, I sketched in a basic shape of a nice little cottage. We're going to paint a nice little cottage in the snow. In the snow, we're going to have some trees, and fence, maybe a little stream or something like that. I don't know how it's going to go just yet. Santa Claus fetched me a nice palette, a nice little tiny palette as well. Little tiny palette, less paint, less waste, okay. So let's paint a nice little sky. So limited palette as well. We've just got white, black, we've got phthalo blue, black and brown mixed together to make a nice grey colour. Ultramarine, we've got burnt umber, burnt sienna, and a little bit of yellow ochre. May touch a little bit of bright red in there if I feel we need it, just a little bit. Okay, with that white brush, which has just got the titanium white linseed oil on, doesn't matter about cleaning it, just wipe it out on an excess. Wipe out the excess. Okay, and we're going to hit some of this. See how this little tiny palette goes? I love it. It's nice and dinky. It'll be easy to clean as well. That's one of the problems I seem to have. Okay, now I'm just going to go up here and just put in some blues, okay? Just put in some bluey colours. I'm not really too full. I want maybe a little cloud, a little light spot just there, but I just want some blue up there, willy-nilly, like that. Maybe get some of this darker grey blue, which is just Prussian blue, sorry, phthalo blue, black and brown mixed together. Okay, and put it up there. Just looks like Prussian blue. So if you haven't got any Prussian blue, a little bit of that will do. Okay, and we're just going to tease these together just like that. I like the Prussian blue, or this mix of Prussian blue, because it's a dark, strong blue, and I like the French ultramarine. It's a nice purpley, warm blue. While I'm applying all this to the canvas, I'm going to fetch you up close so you can see what we're doing, but be sure to like the video, leave me a comment and subscribe. It does help us out. So I'll fetch you up to the canvas now, so let's crack on. Happy days. Alright, and if I feel a bit hoarse, it's because I've got the creepy crud. Okay, so all that's all in place. I did have to put a little bit of red out on the palette and just purple some parts off, just like that. Now, clean, dry brush, okay. Start at the bottom. Start at the, or I suppose it's not necessary for this kind of sky, since we've got colour going everywhere on it. But I start at the bottom, just work my way across and up. Big, stiff, dry 2-inch brush. And you can see the little sketch I've done just in a light pencil, just over there, like that, of the cottage. So let's just blend out this sky. Just keep going until it's the nice blendy type that you like. You can tell. I've got to stop this large canvas from vibrating. You can tell it's looking nice there and just looking kind of surreal up there. So just keep going until we blend it out to the style we want, to the smoothness that we want. There we go. That's one smooth looking sky just up there. Right, let's get the little palette in the hand. And I've taken some, we've got some French ultramarine, a touch of red and white, just mixed together. And I've added a little bit more white and a little bit more white. So I've got basically a small little colour stream on this small little palette. Okay, so let's just take some of this and I'm just going to hit some shadowy colours under some sky. In the sky. I'm not feeling too well, folks, so just you gotta bear with me. You gotta bear with me. All right, but I need to paint. We need to paint. All right, so this is it. So just a bit of this shadowy purpley colour. Okay, I wasn't intending on having any red in the painting, but you need it to make other colours, don't you? And that's where we go with it. Okay, so just put a bit of this in, and then we can put some white on the top if it needs it. And just keep plugging away. Put some up there as well. And it goes on so easy because of the linseed oil. Now we've probably taken a good majority of that linseed oil off with all the blending and the wiping and all sorts, but there's still enough up there just to make this slick and slide. So just put a bit of white on the corner of the fan brush and just feather in some of the tops of the clouds, just like that. Okay, then we come in with the blender brush, so let me get that out of the way just for the moment. Dry, clean Brenda, hello Brenda, blender brush, and just tease the dark colour or the shadow colour and the light colour together. Just tease them together. See, I've dropped a little air there, just there. Oh, don't worry about that. If it bothers you, you can come in with your knife and just zip them off. Okay, and then just fluff up the clouds like so. Just continue doing this until you get a nice cloudy effect. Get rid of that air. It's bugging me, and that one there. And then just go across the whole thing. You might want several layers of clouds. So if that's your aim, just do it. Just do that. I think the sky's almost all done. Well, as far as I'm going to get just yet. I've put a little bit of yellow ochre up there, very pale yellow ochre, and I've just dragged it through just to give some glimmers of light into this painting. I may change that. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to look in the finished composition, but we'll plod on, just carrying on. This is a new top, and I've got all oil paint all up it. That's why you've got to use oldie kind of clothes. Okay, so it isn't. You know, so what we've got here, okay, very soft, delicate little brush, and some of that sky colour, all I'm doing is putting some indications of some very distant little trees just back here. And I don't want much because I'm going to hit this with some white eventually. So just some little trees, and we're going to progressively get bigger as we come towards the cottage, and darker, and obviously it's going to be very dark in shadow almost up there, but we'll just tap in a few of these. Of course, we're going to have some bits in the land as well down here. This is dry canvas here, so we will have to put paint down here at some point, but I just want some of them there. Then what we could do, wipe off the excess, touch into some white, and then just sparkle the top of these off like that. There we go. Maybe need to wipe the brush every now and again. But there we go. There. Like so. Nice snow-covered little trees. I've just put some dark colours down here. Varied the colours and then just tapped them in with a blender brush just to make them more smoother. But there's very little paint on here now, so all I've done is just grabbed some white paint, and you can see I've done it up here, and I've just angle the brush right, just tap on, and it gives all these nice little lacy effects that the snow is actually sitting, or the frost is actually sitting in on the branches where we want them to be. Now, if you get a little bit too much texture in the brush like that, because if we've got too much paint on there, all we need to do is just take a clean dry, it's going to be dry in it, it's a knife, just take your palette knife, okay, and then just scrape off the texture just like that, okay, very gently, just scrape it off, and that will leave us a nice little snowy effect on these branches just out here. And you can build up the layers as you come forward. Of course, the light spot in this painting is coming from these streams, so that's where we need to work with. Alright, so some of the trees are all in place now. Put a few little trunks up there. What I'm going to do is just going to scrub some white into the top of this cottage. I've got a little bit of a chimney stack there, but we'll get round to that later. Now it may pick up some of this colour that's on the got a little bit of a rogue hair there, get that out of the way. It may pick up some of the blues and the purples that are up there. Don't fight that, because you're going to have shadows in this roof as well. But I'm just going to put plenty of white paint on there, like so. I've got a bit of a bump there over the top of the doorway. I have gone over the markings that I set out just here, but that's all right. We've got it basically covered just about there. Then it comes back down there as well. Again, we're going to have some shadows cast by these trees and whatever, so don't fight it. Just cover it with white paint. Pick up that dirty blues that we're getting up there as well, and it'll all look pretty fine. In fact, we'll probably want some of that blue in the snow on the roof as well, like that. Grab some thick paint and just lay it on. Hold the brush like a knife and just pop it on there so it's nice and thick, like that. I think this roof would have a nice thatched effect, thatch being all reeds and stuff, rather than slate or shingles or tiles or anything like that, like so. I've just added a bit of blue to this white, so we can just paint on this side, the shadow side of the roof, and we'll just fill it in like that. Okay, I'm going to step back and see where we need to add some more colour. Let's have a look. So with the roof lined out, I hope you can see this, I've mixed up some brickwork colour there. That's just red, yellow ochre, bit of browns. See where we go with it, bit of white as well. Let's go on to the highlight side of the building, which will be this side. And we'll just put some brickwork colour loosely in. Of course, we will work on this somewhat. It's a nice peachy looking colour, if I had to describe it as a colour. But we'll just scrub it in. I'm going to work around the window, and every time we load the brush we get a bit of a different colour around the door. So just push this into the fabric, grab a bit more of that colour. See, it's got a bit more of the looks like the browns in that one. Not too fussed about the base of the building, because there's going to be snow drifts and all sorts up here, so just work it in as you see fit. We may put individual bricks on. I'll have to think about it. We'll just pick out some stonework as we go along. I think the door goes there. That goes up there like that. So grab some more colour. I think that goes up there like so, around like that. Many of these old cottages have a little bit of a hump and a bump in the old roof where the door frame is. It goes down there deep into the woods there, so that will pick up some of that blue that we put down there, make a bit of a shadow colour there in the stonework as it is. I think there's a window just about here as well, so we'll work around that. And of course what we'll do is we'll darken it off into the shadow as well, into the shadow side of the building. So I've just added a bit of blue to this peachy colour, just to give us some shadow brickwork colour there. And all we're going to do is just place some of this down and see where we go with it. May pick out individual bricks. Who knows? Not me. Well, I think we're getting there with the cottage. It's taking some to and froing with the colours just to get it nice and right. Just adding a bit of wood in the window frame here. Just like that. Step back. Does it look okay? It's okay. It's okay. And then around the window as well, just a bit of dark colour just to set it off. Like that. Okay, let's work on the door. So across the top there, the door would probably be a bit higher, so about there. Like so, it wants to be in this bump area. There, you can see basically where the door was. I haven't painted it in. Okay, so I'll just go along with some colour there like that. Just to give us a bit of an outline. Okay, now I'm going to get some of this darky blue colour just there like that, because that's going to be a shadow colour. So we want it recessed into the brickwork. So we'll just work on this like that. Keep going. I've not thinned this out as such. I've just maybe one drop of linseed oil there. Like so. That's a shadow colour. It might come up here as well. Can always add a bit of black just to darken it all off if we need to. Okay, down there. And we probably will, but not yet. I think we're going to have a red door. So a bit of bright red and whatever dirty colour we've got on the brush. Of course, it won't remain red because of the blues and the browns and all sorts of colours that we've got on there. But we'll just fill it in. Plenty of paint, plenty of paint. Don't be stingy with paint. Then it comes up here into the shadow. Like that. And just rub, rub, rub. There, we're getting somewhere. Just kind of got to sculpt in your lines, you know, the perspective lines, and see where exactly everything lays once you've sort of like got everything painted. All the bits and pieces in place. I've had to readjust the roof, and I'm going to step back and see if that's okay as well. But it doesn't matter about any of this colour down here, because whatever we don't, you know, paint wise, we can paint straight over, you know. Trying to say it properly. We can use it as shadow work. We can paint over anything with a bit of white paint and create some shadow work. We said we're going to have a bit of a stream down here. This is why it's vital to have such a dry canvas down here. If you've got your hand laid down on here, you'd be in some serious trouble. But yeah, like that. Let's just carrying on. Still at it with this little palette, but I'm getting paint all over my clothing. That's why you need scruffy clothing to paint in, as any artist. Right, so all I've done is taken a little bit of white paint on the fan brush, and we're going to just start up here and just lay in some snow down on the ground. I think we're going to have like a little stream running down here. I've put a little bit of a fence there and some stuff on here, but for now, well, we've got white paint on this. This is the brush that we just made the clouds with. We're just going to push in some of this. Now, you may need it's up to you guys. I'm not going to do this, but if you want to thin it out with a couple of drops of oil or liquid clear, liquid white, whatever, just thin it out just so you can spread it nice and evenly over the canvas. That's completely and utterly up to you. But for me, for now, I'm just going to gently paint the whole of this part of the canvas just in this titanium white paint, and any dirty colour that I pick up or that's on the brush will instantly go into shadow. So don't fight it. Do not fight it. There we go. Now you can't hardly see where you're painting because it's white on a white canvas. If you turn to the side, you can see the sheen, but if your face on, you can't really see. But just keep going, build it up, don't worry about it. I don't know if you can see that, bit of brown, bit of white, whatever we've got going. Let's paint a little fence down here. So we're going to start off I'm going to put my finger there, and we'll put a little post there. Move along, and probably a bit bigger post there. Okay, reload the brush, and we're going off this way with the post, so a bit bigger there. Okay, and maybe across here. Well, that's something there. A bit bigger, a bit wider, a bit further apart as you go away from you. And maybe there. Just like that. Let's put one or two this side. So I think we'll have one. Of course, these will be a bit bigger now because they're closer to us in the composition. So we'll have something there. And reload the brush. I've not thinned this paint out. I must state that quite clear. This is just pure paint and whatever we've got on the brush. So there's no thinner, there is no oil or anything in this. There, like that. And then we'll keep working along as we go. So maybe I think another one there, like so. Well, I think we need something over on this little hump here, but I don't know what. A tree or a lamp or something like that. Lamps have been quite popular for me over the last couple of weeks, but we'll put a tree. I think a tree would be quite nice. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blue colour, just a very pale blue. Now we'll see if this shows up. Okay. We'll start off about here, and we'll just work his way down, just like that. So it's hard to see in some places, but it's there, and we'll go right down there, like that. Maybe grab a bit more paint, and we'll, there, just darken it off somewhat on that side. We're going to paint, I think we'll paint a silver birch. I do like painting silver birches, so we'll do that. Just there. So this blue colour is the shadow of this silver birch. So just work it in like that. Of course, it's similar colours to what we've got anyway. But there we go. A little bit of a silver birch kind of tree. Wipe off any excess blue. Get some white onto the brush, just like so. And again, all we're going to do is just pull down, start at the top, and just pull down. Maybe roll the brush just around like that. So we've got his highlight and his shadow on his silver birch. So I have thinned out a bit of brown and black mixed. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some silver birch patterns on. Now sometimes they have little bits of horseshoe shapes, which means that go up and down. And other times they just have like little blips and blobs and all sorts like this. Just work it. Work both sides. Remember, you're going round, so you're creating a rounded shape on the tree trunk. And they don't go all the way across, and they go down, and they go up. Keep loading the brush. And we can also add some little branches and stuff like that as well. Just take your time at this. Let's add a few twigs onto this silver birch. Like a stag's on, yeah? You know what this needs? Just a nice little robin just sat on this little post. So a little brown paint. Let's pop his head just there, like that, and the back of his body, and some tail feathers. Give him a little beak, just a little stabby beak, just like that. Then we'll grab some red paint, robin redbreast, different script liner brush, and then we'll just pop him a little red breast there, like that. And we've got his little robin redbreast. Just a few little sticks and twigs there off the small little tiny palette, and I think we're about done. Well, wow, this certainly is a nice little cosy, warm cottage. If you try this one, send me a photograph. I'd love to see your work. Please give the video a big old like and subscribe if you've not done so already. It does help us out. So until next time, take care of yourself, stay safe, happy days. I said it.